municipality. This is the first of its kind. So kindly take your seats and then prepare so well for the program. As I offer the prayer, shall we observe the prayer? Our Almighty King, we thank you this morning. We adore you. We love you so much, Father, for being with us. We thank you for the traveling mercies granted on us. We thank you for all that you have done. Father, we commit this very program unto thy hand. Take absolute control. Father, I pray and commit the leadership of the Municipal Assembly under thy care, the MCE, the regional minister, and the president and his cabinet. Father, grant them wisdom and understanding and good health. Father, all that they'll be doing to benefit us. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. All shall say amen. So, this is the program as is given to you. Let me go through it quickly. It's going to be a very short program. And in next 30 minutes, we should be leaving this place. We have now, we'll go to self-introduction. And after that, we'll continue with it. My name is Botre Justice, the Municipal Information Officer. And then I'll start. In fact, this one, let me do it. The media house, we know them, those who are here already. So I won't extend the mic to you. We'll do the heads of departments, and then I'll do director, and then we'll continue from there. My brother. Yes.
Thank you. My name is Mce Hohoe, Health Insurance Director.
I'm Derek Adjoy, the presiding member.
Julius Agba, the procurement officer.
Gershon Tugabwa, development planning officer.
Yes, just this one.
Municipal Finance Officer.
I'm Jazz Kofi Azaga, Municipal Director of Health Services.
Ruby Komu, Head of Works Department.
So my name is Daniel Lajagala, the Human Resource Manager.
I'm Henry Yampale, Head Department of Social Welfare and Community Development.
I'm Jifa Buama, Municipal Budget Analyst.
Julius Dovi, Physical Planning Department.
So thank you so much. I continue with the Municipal Coordinating Director in the person of Mr. Benjamin Fiato. So I'll give the mic to him as we continue for us. Thank you.
Hello. Good morning, colleagues and media personnel. I think today we are here for a media briefing from the Municipal Chief Executive, and it has been his plan to be open to the citizens of Hohoe and Ghana about plans, progress of Hohoe Municipal Assembly. I think this one is the maiden one. I think this is the first in Hohoe, so we have to give him that applaud for trying to be open to the public. He will take questions. He will speak on the affairs, current affairs of the Assembly, future plans of Hohoe Municipal Assembly as well. Questions will come, and I hope the answers that will be given will be satisfactory to the community through the media access here. On that note, I'll use the opportunity to introduce our guest speaker today, the mayor of Hohoe Metro in the making, in the person of Mayor Prosper Kumi. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm most humbled, and I want to share my greatest appreciation to all heads of department here, and then also kindly permit me to do this before we start, to share my sincere condolences with the family of a 3-year-old boy that lost his life through electrocuting, I think just about some 5-6 days ago. I commiserated with the family on Monday. It was just unfortunate that we had to lose such a life. We pray for the repose of his soul before his maker. So, good morning to all of you once again, members of press here present. The Honorable Presiding Member, I recognize your presence, and any assembly member who is here, the heads of the various departments and units, our development partners, the media, like I said earlier, citizens of Hohoe, who are listening through our various channels of communication. It is a privilege, a great one, of course, to stand before you today in fulfillment of our democratic obligation to account to the people we serve. This engagement is not just a reporting platform, and let me say, I would wish the media houses pick their notes as much as possible so that as we have the opportunity to ask questions, we can do so accordingly. It is a dialogue which allows us to reflect on our progress, shared challenges, and most importantly, reaffirm our collective vision of building a modern, prosperous, and resilient Hohoe whilst pushing the vision and mission of our great leader, His Excellency, the President John Dramani Mahama. I am committed to ensuring accountability, transparency, and responsiveness in the management of our municipality. Ladies and gentlemen gathered here, the sense of reaching out to a lot of our people has not been a singular effort, and that is why I'm thankful to my staff, especially management, my Member of Parliament, the Honorable Regional Minister, who is my direct supervisor, the paramount chiefs of the 5 traditional areas and their councils, and all the citizens of Hohoe municipality. I must confess, I've received a lot of guidance and a lot of leading from our chiefs, especially with our regional minister's store of the Hohoe municipality. Has opened my eyes to a lot of things that I am happy for which I'm thankful to our leaders, our traditional leaders, who we are clearly partners of development with. I am extremely passionate about the development of Hohoe, devoid of all forms of partisan politics, and very committed to the reset agenda of His Excellency the President and the NDC government. I want to use this podium to specially thank His Excellency the President for the timely release of the District Assembly's Common Fund, and also rest assured the people of Hohoe that myself and the Member of Parliament, Honorable Thomas Oranchepo, are committed to seeing Hohoe to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, I want the people of our municipality to know that issues of water, sanitation, effective management of the Assembly's internally generated funds, what we normally call IGF, and the Common Fund, the operationalization of the Hohoe Industrial Park, the effective use of the drip equipment, making roads more travel, ensuring projects are completed on time and handed over for use will continue to receive the highest attention under my administration. With your support, collaboration from our partners, and the oversight of the media, we shall work together to build a healthier, more inclusive, and more developed municipality. As we gathered here today, I wish to highlight some key issues that remain central to our developmental agenda in the municipality and call on friends of the media to partner partner us in disseminating accurate information. Call on our citizens to play their part in keeping the municipality clean and peaceful, and also call on our investors and development partners to take advantage of the enabling environment we are creating in Hohoe. Fellow citizens, even though I met challenges upon assuming office, I would rather focus on how I have masked up my committed team to surmount these challenges, and I wish to begin with projects, programs, and infrastructure development initiatives. As part of our commitment, the Assembly has undertaken and supervised several projects, including those that are national, aimed at enhancing the socio-economic well-being of our people, promoting sustainable development, and ensuring a better future for our municipality. As you may be aware, one of the President's mission is to ensure that all uncompleted projects are completed and handed over for use by end users on time. So we don't expect in the coming months and coming years to see projects that were started even by previous governments to continue hanging without completion and for usage. This is termed as a legacy project under the District Assembly's Common Fund guideline. I believe that these guidelines on how to utilize the Common Fund will put us all on our toes to ensure the effective use of the funds. I believe that all the media persons here have so much access to the guideline as to how we're supposed to use the Common Fund. They are not very strange things. Below, allow me to just mention some few key projects. Below are projects under the Municipal Assembly, of which some have been successfully completed and handed over, whilst others are still ongoing as inherited. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a construction of a 2-story, 32-unit lockable stores at Hohoe Central Market. It is a UDG project. It is about 81% complete. We are believing that all things being equal, we should get it completed by the close of this year. A construction of 108-unit market stores, completion of a 16-unit warehouse, and a construction of fence wall 290 meters around the Hohoe Central Market. So that's 100% complete project, completed and handed over and in use. That is those stores that were handed over to the market women currently being occupied. Then construction of an 8-number garages, fire, health post within the light industrial area is also completed. But let me quickly just say that it is not operational yet because social amenities that are supposed to be there for it to be operational are being worked on in partnership with the Ministry of Energy, and then the release of the current Common Fund will help us provide the water that is needed at those places. I'll speak much more about the light industrial area going forward. Construction of a 1 kilometer between surface urban roads, locust to Alabato roads with U-drains on both sides. It's about 95% complete. I am aware that that project needs some reworks for it to be fully completed. Then construction of a 900-meter reinforced concrete drain with 3-number pedestrian bridge with 3-number guardrails. That is Hohoe Zongo. It's also a UDG project, 91% complete. Construction of a modern bus terminal with 2-number canopies, 1-number 6-seater WC toilet, 2,000 square meter paved floor, 1-number unit shops, 250-meter access roads and lightning. Also a UDG project, 60% complete. Pavement of 300 meters and construction of drains at UDG 3 market, I've mentioned 89% complete. So when you go to the 32 lockable, that's the second phase, you realize that there's pavement than there with open stores as well. I'll just have to be mentioning some of these things. Currently we are registering those selling on the streets of the market so that they are moved to the main market for proper traffic flow within that area. So when that project is complete, all those that have been registered will be given priority in accessing that market space. Construction of main and access roads at garage sites and construction of ramps to 24 number garages, clearing and leveling of the garage sites. So that is 93% complete. I'm talking about the light industrial area. The projects are in various phases. So then these are UDG projects that I've mentioned, 8 of that. And then this is a depart project, construction of a one number chips compound with 2 bedrooms for nurses, consulting room, delivery room, waiting area, storeroom, and weighing center at the village Obegan. It's about 85% complete. We are pushing the Pesben Investment Limited, who is the contractor, to ensure that project is completed before the year ends. Then a construction of 1 number 3-unit classroom block at Alavanyo Buditi St. Mary's School. I commissioned that project on arrival. Governance is continuing. So the stage it was before I came to meet, we need to mention it. And then it has now been completed and commissioned. So we are thankful our children are currently using that particular facility. Then it had other facilities, wash facilities, monodesk has been supplied to that as well. Then expansion of health center with mechanized borehole, Biletik Bogame, 88% complete. I think funds was just released to the contractor just recently, about 2 weeks ago, to try and finish up that project. So that is also ongoing. Construction of 1 number 3-unit classroom block with wash facilities and landscape, the surroundings with protective grass and economic trees, BVB, EP Basic School. That has also been completed, 100% and handed over. I commissioned that project as well. Then completion of 20-unit lockable stores, Hohoe Lorry Park. The project is about 35%. For now, I am sure it should be more than 35% complete. It's our 60% complete now. Roofing has just been done. The shutters have also been worked on. Plastering, I believe, is ongoing. Ladies and gentlemen, that project in particular is important to mention. It was an IGF project that about 120,000 Ghana cedis was spent from IGF in pushing for the project. We want the project completed as early as possible for that matter. Given the opportunity and the legacy project, we decided to move the project under common fund. That approved by General Assembly, and that is why you see the project quickly moving on that pace. And we are grateful to the General Assembly, we are grateful to the government for the money we received and the legacy to do that. I am sure we should commission that project by the end of this year. So, physical projects that I came to meet in office, some completed, some not completed, that we're working on, are the ones I just spoke to you about. Fellow citizens, the Assembly is working with the Regional Coordinating Council to identify all the contractors on the abandoned coastal development projects, that's CODA projects, and other contractors to come back to site. We are committed to completing all these projects. So with the CODA projects, the contracts are not directly under the assembly. They were awarded to contractors who have worked up to a stage and abandoned those projects. We have a lot of sanitary conditions, toilets at secondary schools. Almost all the secondary schools are beneficiaries of the CODA projects. The Bohome market project is also under CODA. There's this project at Bla. I think it's a community center, also under CODA. Alavanyo Agokwe Basic School, there's also some classroom project there under CODA. So we are pursuing the contractors. The consultants were summoned to the Regional Coordinating Council some few weeks ago for them to get their contractors on site. We are pursuing that vigorously. Projects intended for 2025 under the District Assembly's Common Fund relating to the release. Following the guidelines of the Common Fund, the future of Hohoe looks promising, and I can assure you that we will make significant progress in the coming months and years ahead of us. In the coming weeks, the Honorable Member of Parliament will join me to cut salt for the commencement of the following projects. 1. Construction of 1 number 3 unit classroom block with auxiliary facilities at Hohoe by fire. 2. Construction of 1 number kindergarten classroom block at the same place by fire. Construction of 1 number 6 unit classroom block at Ableje Primary School. Construction and finishing of 1 number chips compound with nurses quarters at Bin Avega. Construction and finishing of 1 number chips compound at Bin Bohome. Construction and mechanization of 10 number boreholes in selected communities. Provision and mechanization of water and the light industrial park being Godon. Construction and completion of fence wall and gates for Hohoe Central Market. Let me just quickly explain this because I mentioned one already. The old market and then the new market, you realize there are no gating. The entrance are not gated. And the implications continue to come. People move debris from home and dump them there. People are misusing the market when our market women have closed and gone home. So we have decided to complete it generally. So we'll gate the whole market, including the old market, and that even includes the station, the 24-hour economy market that is coming. As much as possible, we are identifying a land just around the place so that it will become one big market area to be gated. So that is the explanation I want to give around that place. So we also have mentioned already that we are completing a 20 number lockable store with wash facilities at Hohoe Lorry Station. That is the one I'm talking about. The rehabilitation and mechanization of 10 number boreholes in selected communities. The difference is here. We are constructing new 10. Then there are existing ones that will need to be rehabilitated and worked on. So in all, we are believing that 20 number boreholes should be available to the people, the good people of Hohoe for use. Completion of Hohoe Municipal Assembly Office Block. This block is supposed to be 2. So the phase 2 has been hanging. So as part of our legacy project, it is usually going to be considered. It is important for us because day in, day out, offices are being localized. They are being brought under local government. for which you have the responsibility as an assembly to provide them with office facilities. Also, let us all here be praying for that status with which the director looked for a way of introducing me with. When we become a metropolitan, it means more offices would have to be opened here, for which there is the need for us to complete that office. PM, don't worry, we'll still refurbish that one for us to be using. So, I've already mentioned that under CODA, we have some toilet facilities at HEPS, Afastec, Alavanyo, both EPTVI and then Aztec. We would get the contractors to get, if they will not come to site, we'll get letter of authorization and re-award the project. So quickly, the assembly is also in collaboration with the MP to develop smart classroom. It's a concept we are coming up with, starting with 6 junior high schools where smart boards and modern furniture will be provided to these schools. So, Director of Education, you are here. We'll be getting in touch. At least we want each traditional area to be of beneficiary. You identify the schools for us to start with. He shared the cost with me is huge, but we would have to start from somewhere, see how we improve on that. Kindly permit me to move on to one very important issue, sanitation. It is one of my key passions, and it is instructive to note that His Excellency the President of the Republic has made sanitation a central policy issue for all MMDAs, of which Hohoe is no exception. The President's directive emphasizes accountability, decentralization, and the enforcement of sanitation laws at the local level. Pursuant to this policy directive, the Hohoe Municipal Assembly has put in place measures that have resulted in significant progress in improving sanitation services and practices in the municipality since my assumption of office. Improved solid waste management. Since the expiration of the Assembly's contract with Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, my office has engaged management in recruiting some staff who were employed under the Zoom Lion and YEA scheme to temporarily manage solid waste generation from the Central Business District of the Assembly. These staffs have been, I need to announce this, I don't think we have any payment in arrears, and in fact we've increased their remuneration and they are more motivated. Yesterday someone sent me a disturbing video, but I can assure you when you get back to the station now, it is well cleared. That place is well cleared. And let me explain this. Zoom Lion's contract with YEA and then the assemblies are in different categories. The one that has been terminated has to do with the sweepers, and the termination has nothing to do with the assembly directly. It has everything to do with YEA. They were in contract with Zoom Lion. So YEA employs for Zoom Lion to sweep. So that model is what has been taken off. But we still are in contract with Zoom Lion in relation to the management of the containers. So the waste containers that are deposited within the municipality are all under the management of Zoom Lion. And Assembly has responsibility to payments to that effect. And then also fumigation exercises are also still being carried out by Zoom Lion. Management of our landfill site is also still being managed by Zoom Lion, for which Assembly has responsibility in paying for those services. As the Municipal Chief Executive, I have continued engagement with various stakeholders and management members to ensure that a well thought out sweepers model be generated for the Assembly, where adequate number of personnel would be recruited and be well equipped with the needed resources to further manage the Assembly's solid waste generation. During this period, my office has been actively involved in the Assembly's monthly cleanup exercises, which is carried out throughout the whole municipality with my physical presence. participation and continuous motivation, yielding massive turnouts during these activities. I'm grateful to my staff for this. These measures by my office have seen the municipality experiencing significant improvement in the area of management of solid waste. The Municipal Environmental Health and Sanitation Unit has also experienced great improvement as a result of timely inputs and interventions from our office that have ensured that the unit is well resourced and motivated. It has been a long time I heard stray animals are being pursued. Recently, that happened. In fact, I had so many calls of plea. They have taken my goats, helped me pick it back. But I believe that my people at the environmental unit are up to task to ensure we pursue that agenda to the core. Officers of the unit over the period continue their routine domicile inspection and education, especially in the area of household latrine construction and proper solid waste disposal practices. This has led to great reduction in waste disposal in open areas, with households now using proper waste disposal methods, and also resulting in an increase in newly constructed household latrines, as the Assembly is on course to achieving its target of eradicating open defecation in the municipality. Kindly permit me push this through at once. There are public toilets sited in communities. The current guidelines are against public toilets sited in communities. So if there are existing ones, the encouragement is that there are laid down steps to be used in managing these public toilets. And with that, we have since written to the assemblymen of the various communities who have public toilets under their jurisdictions for those committees to be properly formed, to follow the terms of reference. We get those toilets properly shaped up for us to be able to manage them properly so that we don't fall against the regulations laid out. There are some community concerns, but as much as possible, we've been doing a lot of engagements to ensure they don't degenerate into confusions. Prior to my assumption of office as Municipal Chief Executive, the Assembly had a major challenge with liquid waste management as well, due to the dilapidated state of the Assembly's cesspool emptier. This led to unfortunate situations where some households were manually dislodging their fecal sludge into the environment, which was detrimental to the health of community members within the municipality. My office has since facilitated the operationalization of the cesspools emptier by ensuring that massive repair works were carried on it, and this has improved service delivery significantly. Our dream is to get one for the Assembly in addition in the near future. It's quite an expensive venture to enter, but I believe that it is worth doing. With typhoid fever, Director, you are here. With typhoid fever cases increasing significantly and issues of cholera in neighboring regions, the Environmental Health and Sanitation Unit has been tasked with the responsibility of sensitizing various communities within the municipality on the importance of prevention of such communicable diseases. For this reason, the unit is currently carrying out a medical screening exercise for all food handlers within the municipality to ensure that they are fit to sell food free from contamination. During this exercise, stores and shops are thoroughly inspected to ensure that food sold to the public are wholesome for consumption. Expired foods and bloated canned drinks are seized and destroyed. Significant progress has been made in improving sanitation services and practices within the municipality, and continued efforts are essential to sustain and ensure efficiency in this area. Before this year ends, the Assembly shall inaugurate a very comprehensive model, I mentioned it earlier, which will be divided, for which the communities will be divided into 10 zones, where each zone will be equipped properly to clean our communities. This exercise will bring our churches, schools, media houses, and the entire general public together to make our environments clean and beautiful. We are currently recruiting personnel to that effect. We shall collaborate with Zoom Lion and other partners to achieve a cleaner Hohoe. I urged that we take notes because it is not every detail. I'm not reading everything from the paper so that you don't miss any. District Road Improvement Program, DRIP. The purpose of DRIP is to provide MMDAs with state-of-the-art equipment and technical training, thereby improving their capacity for road maintenance and construction. Upon my assumption to office, the following DRIP machines were handed over to me. Concrete mixer 3, payloader 1, tipper truck 1, water tanker 1, motor grader 1, roller compactor 1, backhoe loader 1. Let me mention, the payloader actually was not given to every municipality as in 111. They clustered us. So Hohoe, Bando, Afajato, South, then North Dine. We are using one payloader. All machines were duly registered and are roadworthy, except the motor grader, which had a breakdown. I remembered that had to be towed from the Litoji road. However, due to numerous calls received from the various communities, and I mentioned this at the select committee, the rains came hugely within the municipality regards to the deplorable nature of their roads. Management of the municipal assembly took a decision to contact JA Plant Pool, Ghana Limited, for the repair and servicing of the motor grader and backhoe loader in the months of July and August 2025. A total amount of over 27,000 Ghana cedis was spent on the maintenance of these machines for us to see them on road. When my finance officer at the committee meeting in Parliament mentioned the 150,000 on issues of drip and roads, I knew those of us who followed you realized that you didn't have that space to do detailed explanations. So this forced us to understand the issues around drip. Now, the machines have since been used to reshape a total of about 1.1 kilometer of roads networks within where gravels, and let me explain this. For me, when I came, I went beyond this idea of just reshaping. Using the grader, you move the road a little bit, and then that is that. What we adopted was to employ all the machines. So whenever we are moving to a road to reshape, you will see us with the grader, the compactor, the tipper truck, and then immediately you have tipper truck, it means you need a payloader or the backhoe loader, so that you are able to get how do they call it, gravel for your road. So when you send out these machines, you can imagine how much it is that you are pushing in to that effect. So let me just do a little bit of a breakdown. So roads description, length, and then the trips, they are out there. So if you remember the issue of Alabato Junction before the contractors came, it was a huge cry and we had to step in. So we had to use our machines to be able to get that place worked on. About 1.3 kilometers of road was done there. King's Fuel Station around that's Bundos, yes, was also worked on. When you Bangalo through to Kojope road has also been worked on. St. Teresa's College of Education, one of their inner roads towards there has also been worked on. They are there. We worked at markets, we gave them gravel, and then UHAS recently, when the regional minister was visiting, we need to pull up the place. In fact, that particular project, a lot of people didn't understand how much we spent on that project. It was a new road we opened up. So the backward to go and work first, the grader has to go in to open up the whole place. I must be sincere to say that pulling all this together, an amount of 165,000 Ghana cedis was spent on this. And truth be told, when we were having the COSA games and then the opening up of the UHAS, we had some contributions to that effect, amounting to about 14,000 Ghana cedis from the institutions supporting the fact that we should help work on their areas. And much of this money went into fueling, much of this money went into payment of the operators. As we speak, the operators are hired. We bring them on board as at when we need them. They give you a charge. As based on the work you want to do, you pay them to that effect. As we talk about roads, I am happy to announce and to assure all of you that fully through Likpe to Hohoe, that is the Bangalore road, it would soon be awarded on contract. Works have been done. 11 kilometers of our township roads, where consideration is given to by plan to Atabu Road. Those of us who know Tobegan Gabusu's residency, that road that joins the Atabu Fodome Road, Paroma Road, Galikope Roads, Residency Roads, Segbedeme Roads, the Ajofusu Roads at Atabu, Locust Roads, Vegbe Roads, and about 21 kilometers of Alavanyo Roads will be awarded soon, like I mentioned earlier. As we speak, we had an emergency and we had to work on the Ajofusu Road. If you go there today, as we speak, contractors are on road reshaping the Atabu to Fodome Junction as we speak. We are very committed to ensuring that the phase of our inner roads significantly improve to enhance mobility, businesses, and social interaction. Just on Tuesday, I visited a company that produces red bricks to understand the concept of using red bricks even in pavement. That we believe when we adopt becomes cheaper to use, and with the investigations we have done, cheaper to use and easier to use. It's a model that was practiced in South Africa, and we want to believe that when we understand it properly, it is something we can use to save us costs of getting our inner roads properly in shape and lasting for a long time. To help reduce vehicular and human traffic on market days and any other day around the main station and market, the Assembly is considering making the entry to the market and main station a one-way entry, and also the Hohoe Regional Hospital entry a one-way entry to decongest human traffic, especially on Fridays. All of you agree with me that on Fridays, when we pick our beloveds that have passed on, if we are not careful, we will lose lives who we are supposed to be sending to be saved. So the idea is to open up the one-way straight into the hospital and open up another way as an outlet, especially on Fridays where we have such congestions. For the markets, the necessary bodies and heads, including the police, have done the necessary assessments. Engagements have been done with the market women to a large extent, and we are following the roadmaps in that implementation. Under the Big Push agenda, Hohoe municipality has been prioritized as well, and contractors are already on site in certain areas, as we can testify on the Eastern Corridor Road and part of the Fodome roads, which would open up Hohoe to major trading centers in the Volta and Oti regions. The Assembly shall also tool the Parks and Gardens Department, using our IGF usually to redevelop our parks in the municipality. My commitment to sports development is unwavering, and that is not questionable. Our material gathering on the sports stadium issue has since been completed, and let me inform the public. African Watch, Corruption, African Watch, what's the name? African Watch. Yes, they used right to information bill to seek information on the stadium of Hohoe. The Assembly can only provide information to that effect. A committee was put together, and the necessary materials that needs to be gathered were gathered and have since submitted to them. Yes, Corruption Watch Ghana. We will ensure that the right thing is done for the good people of Hohoe, while protecting the integrity of our love for football. Once again, on behalf of the people of Hohoe, let me use this opportunity to congratulate Hohoe United FC for qualifying to the Ghana Premier League and sincerely wish them the best. We shall support them to the core, and in fact, for them to bring the cup to Hohoe. Agric, our backbone. It is actually the backbone of our economy, and as a municipal chief executive, I recognize its crucial role in promoting food security, poverty reduction, and economic growth. Since I assumed office, the Assembly has implemented various initiatives to support farmers, improve agricultural productivity, and enhance the overall agriculture sector in our municipality. Friends from the media, under agriculture, activities undertaken span the core mandates of the Department of Agriculture in the municipality, which involves farm and home visits. A significant number of homes and farms as well as groups were visited. In all, 960 homes and farms were visited by the department from April to date. These visits afforded the department an opportunity to educate and sensitize farmers and their households on good nutritional practices in farm households, diseases and pest prevention amongst crops, simple treatment methods, among others. The Department of Agriculture engaged farmer-based groups in training and sourcing inputs such as rice seeds and tomato seeds that they need. Ladies and gentlemen, over 1,000 bags of fertilizer have been earmarked for farmers in the municipality. However, 900 of that have arrived with 100 bags. In fact, as I speak, arrangements are being done for us to go convey them from the regional office, and yet to arrive for distribution to farmers. So far, 600 bags of the fertilizers have been distributed to farmers, with the distribution of the remaining 400 bags currently to go on. I would like to use this medium to inform the general public that there is registration currently ongoing for the tomato revitalization program, and I encourage all interested farmers to come on board to register. Please just get in touch with our Agri department to that effect. In a bid to enhance tomato farming in our municipality, a pepper and tomato demonstration farm has been established at Alavanyokbeme as well. The department has also collaborated with Mastercard Foundation and Catholic Relief Services to train young people on good agronomic practices, GAPS, in the municipality. This aims at incentivizing and making agriculture attractive for the teeming youth, especially our ladies from our municipality. Our poultry farmers are not left out of the development agenda, as about 10,000 broiler beds are expected to arrive in the municipality soon under the government's flagship project, Nkuko Nkiti. Some key government flagship programs currently ongoing in the municipality include Feed Ghana program, registration still ongoing, and cooperatives formed. Over 1,000 cooperatives so far formed. Broiler revitalization program, preparation ongoing to receive 10,000 beds. These beds will be distributed, so when they arrive, per the information given us, one center has been identified, and that will be the outsource point. Distribution of free fertilizers is being done across the municipality. Boosting of tomato production within the municipality, hybrid tomato seeds, organic fertilizer, and neem powder, that's pesticide available for sale at subsidized price. I think when you get to the agri people, they will direct you to the various shops to that effect. Social welfare and community development. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the Hohoe Municipal Assembly is committed to promoting the social welfare and well-being of our residents, particularly the most vulnerable members of our community. Our social welfare and community development initiatives, since I came to office, aims to provide social safeguards, safety nets, and support services that improve the quality of life of our citizens. First and second quarter for persons, that's managed for persons with disability program, has since been released to support the PWD activities. Fellow citizens, media men, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and the World Bank, is implementing a child care intervention under the Ghana Accountability Outcomes Project, GALLOP. The objective of the project is to improve the quality of child care and enhance foundational learning. I'm happy to announce to you the Assembly also owns one child care center. That is the main market. So they were here, GALLOP, they were here last week, last 2 weeks. And we did an inspection of the place. We need to do some few touches, and then we can start getting our children, especially with our mothers selling. It is important they have a place to put their children for safe keep. I'm thrilled to inform you that our municipality is going to benefit from this project. My office, upon further discussions with the relevant officers and stakeholders, has facilitated the submission of an expression of interest in the World Bank to the World Bank in this regard, which they have come to do an assessment. I have also been able to push for our inclusion into the Integrated Social Services Program. It is also a nice program that will help give some few project areas for us. On the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty, LEAP program, there were two there were 2 cycle grant payments, 96th and 97th, an amount of 272 Ghana cedis was transferred to the bank by the bank interbank payment settlement system chips to the e-switch cards of 665 households covering 23 beneficiaries communities in the municipality. The commitment of the Office of the Municipal Chief Executive to gender mainstream activities is evident to this. Gender mainstream activities since I assumed office has been centered around monitoring of activities of parents of children with visual impairment, which is termed Parent Support Group, PSG, not the one Chelsea built. This one is to protect our children. This was followed by a skills empowerment program, which was organized by the then Presbyterian Health Service under the Holistic Development for Visually Impaired Children. This happened earlier this year. In our bid to combat sexual and gender-based violence, collaborations were made with Hohoe Municipal Health Directorate on one hand, and also with Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana, PAG, under the Partnership and United Nations Population Fund, to sensitize a section of our populace on sexual and gender-based violence, SGBV. So those are social protection issues. Finances and revenues. There are 3 major sources of financing our developmental projects of the Assembly: the District Assembly's Common Fund, the internally generated funds, and the donor funds, among others. As a municipality, we have prioritized the judicious use of these resources to directly benefit our people. Key areas of utilization include education, health, infrastructure, and social interventions. We have ensured transparency and accountability with the expenditure of these funds, and we remain open to public scrutiny to ensure confidence in the system. The Hohoe Municipal Assembly has received 2 tranches of the Common Fund totaling about 6.4 million Ghana cedis as at August 2025. All glory to the NDC government and President John Dramani Mahama. In addition to this, our assemblymen have also been credited, and for which processes are ongoing for them to be paid their allowances very soon. In fact, today. Our assemblymen will be paid today, and I believe that all other assemblies are these processes are ongoing. So I wish to assure you that our assemblymen will be paid today. So the assemblymen here, please, when we close, don't leave us. Tomorrow is Friday. Don't leave us. Ladies and gentlemen, the total amount of internally generated funds IGF received for the period under review is 1,368,146.56 pesos. Let me do this. Finance officer, allow me to do this. Revenue from rates, 329,560.52. Revenue from rent, 241,372.24. Revenue from licensing, 461,631.80. Revenue from fees, 334,532. Revenue from fines, 1,050. totaling the amount I mentioned earlier. Let me give this very important information. IGF generally, we are mandated to use about 20% of our IGF on capital-related issues. And that includes your roads or any other infrastructure that needs urgent attention. Generally, IGF is spent on compensation of employees. There are two categories of employees at every disassembly. You have the GOG employees, and then you have the IGF employees. So the GOG employees are paid directly by government. The IGF employees are the ones that the assembly pays from the IGF. Please, you get it? Thank you. We should have been given that opportunity to do the breakdowns there. Then allowances, that includes, assembly has what you call statutory meetings. They are part of your assessment. You don't do them. The reason for which you should even get fund, you should even get common fund will be questioned. So we call them statutory meetings that you are supposed to do, and it comes with a lot of costs to that effect. We pay insurances for people, the material office supplies that are used, fuel situations, travels. Municipal chief said you can't just be sitting in the office every day and get things done. You have to travel. You have your superiors traveling and having engagements with you. Recently, the regional minister visited us here. You can't use common fund to fund such activities. Maintenance of your vehicles, training, seminars, and conferences are all funded under IGF. And any day, any time that you want details of this, my finance officers are there. They can speak to you to that effect, and we can pick it from there. DRIP operations doesn't have dedicated funding source. So you can only rely on your IGF to deal with handling of DRIP. And I am happy to announce to you, we have clearly entered a contract with J Plant Pool for constant maintenance works on our DRIP machines, so that we don't see machines parked just after some years, they are out of use and they'll just be occupying spaces here. In fact, we've even gone further as an assembly for them to do an assessment of the Volvo machines, for them to see if we can